As promised, it's time to cover the top 10 Minecraft Bedrock mods and add-ons of March 2022. All of these are new and exciting picks from all different categories which support MCPE and Windows 10. Let's begin. Number 10, God of War. Based on the popular God of War video game franchise, this mod adds new mobs, weapons and items to the game. You'll be able to use the Leviathan axe that replaces the trident, letting it return to you if you put the spell on it. The Swords of Chaos and the Bow of Atreus are also new items that are used by the Draeger in the mod. The mod features many mobs and bosses from Kratos, Atreus, the Troll, Zombie Draugr and Dark Elves to name a few, with the mod covering the Greek, Spartan and Norse mythological ages of the game's storylines. Number 9, SERP Lucky Blocks. From the creator of the popular SERP Poker add-on, this mod lets you craft magical lucky blocks that, when broken or hit, open up for a surprise that could range from anything from traps, mobs, buildings, loot or potion effects being granted, all from a collection of 110 triggerable events. The Lucky Dealer Girl will appear and sell lucky baskets for emeralds, which will help you to create 6 different lucky blocks. You could get everything from these from enchanted netherite armor, or battle a new dangerous alien pixel boss from Space Invaders, or fight a gigantic zombie. There's just too many surprises hidden in here which just makes it super fun. Number 8, Red Small Structures. This one makes the world a more interesting place, which is filled with new places to explore with the all new structures from the mod. These contain new loot and some enemy encounters within them. There's everything in this one from new loot containing towers, just like the Battle Towers mod, new beach houses with beds in them, abandoned creeper houses in clusters, abandoned houses with loot inside, as well as 3 different Buddha statues, oracles based on their containing biomes, which are just like shrines, dark pillager towers, the Sphinx, the Desert Pantheon Archers, the Great Pyramid, and the Jungle Pyramid, which is in a more Aztec style, not to mention the large Titan Sword which is left in the ground. Number 7, Unofficial Mowzie's Mobs. This mod aims to port Mowzie's mobs over from Java Edition to the Bedrock Edition by bringing its fictional creatures with unique AI and animations. You'll find exactly the same boss mobs in here as the original, from the frightening Frostmaw Yeti creature protecting its crystal, to the terrifying Ferris Wroughnaut that protects its domain underground, with the giant axe, or the Phaliath plant which will camouflage itself in jungles before it emerges. There's also the winged Naga that will plague the cliffs of the world, flying around and roaring and screeching, or the Sun Chief Barakaoa who controls the power of his Barakoan tribe, and the power of the sun to cause some serious damage. Number 6, Biological Optimization. Java players have the Fresh Animations resource pack, but Bedrock players now have Biological Optimization. This is a mod that makes the usually monotonous creature animations into more refined ones. The zombies now have a more imposing walking cycle, one that makes it seem to flail about more and move slightly faster, now having 3 different attack animations and a different death sequence appearance. The skeleton now stands out too, mainly from how it draws and fires its arrows, looking far more realistic as it will actually grab an arrow from behind its back and set it out on its bow. Spiders and cave spiders will also flail around and then fall on their backs as their new death animation, which is extremely satisfying. Creepers are very subtly segmented, with a breakaway cut in their torso and a creepier walk cycle. Evokers will now fall back on their back when they die. I personally like the new movement animation for pillagers. It makes them seem more ready for action. Pigs have a slightly more goofy death animation in which they fall to the side and then onto the ground. The cow's movement animation looks like something from a love story, as they'll now gallop across the fields, and finally for the dog lovers, dogs sitting down and wagging their tail is now all the more cuter. There's animations for more other different mobs, and also idle, injury, walking and death animations for every single mob, although I covered my main favourites and the most standout ones. Number 5, HD Woods 2. This replaces the overworld dimension with many new features, from biomes to blocks, items, entities and more additions, by offering a more challenging survival experience with new content to discover and explore along the way. The mod boasts a newer and more unique overworld, littered with new biomes and accompanying structures to explore, with a unique villager trading system and economy, a customizable robot with special unique abilities, and new in-game guides and achievements. This is actually a very high quality mod, especially for Bedrock Edition, and the textures and models themselves are extremely detailed, but very fitting for the main house style of the game. Number 4, SCP Dystopia. With over 120 plus blocks and 90 of them being 3D ones with over 50 walls and floors, SCP SCP Dystopia is the perfect add-on for fans of the Secure Contain Protect fandom that want to build highly secure containment facilities for these anomalous creatures. Along with providing Bedrock players with a means of building your fictional compounds with blocks that us Java players have had for years with the SCP Containment Breach mod, let's actually focus on the mobs themselves. There's a ton of different SCP creatures in the mod, many being ones that you will recognize, even if you're not a seasoned fan of the SCP fan material. Many of these creatures are found in the SCP Containment Breach Java mod and are brought back to life in this one. One funny addition is the Among Us SCP, which is pretty hilarious to me for some reason, because it's just kind of thrown in there for no reason. Number 3, Damage Indicator. To make Minecraft more like an RPG, let's add a damage indicator. This will let us see the damage that we deal to enemies more visually. This mod is basically a visual indicator for damage dealt to enemies as well as the amount healed, and it will monitor the HP precisely and vanish when invisible, having a maximum render distance of up to 20 blocks. You can select from 3 options, which are the health bar, heart icon, or a combination of the two, and it's basically just providing you a visual feedback in real time to show some useful on-screen elements in the form of stats. Number 2, ArkCraft. If you know of Ark Survival Evolved, then perhaps you'll like this mod as it adds dinosaurs from that game. All of these dinosaurs are extremely visually appealing with very highly detailed 3D models that will fit into the art style very well, having many fictional and non-fictional dinos that will spawn in both the sea and on the land or within the airspace too, that will really glow up your world, each having unique behavior sets and interactable features. I think the reason why this mod is actually particularly so good is because Ark is in the exact same genre of games as Minecraft is. It's a survival game with many of the same similar elements, just set in a completely different world, so transforming the game into Ark just is very fitting and makes sense, and it doesn't require much effort to actually be believable. Number 1, True Backpack. This add-on adds a brand new backpack item to carry your items within, with the addition with an indicator to display whether you are carrying it currently or not. These backpacks can be painted by using any of the available dyes on the backpack to color them. With this, you can also use a few different vanilla items to change the appearance further, such as by right-clicking on them with items like diamonds, emeralds, iron ingots, blue ice, gold ingots, amethyst shards, glowstone dust, copper ingots, and prismarine shards to unlock other visual variants, as well as combining one with an ender chest to make an ender backpack, which gives you 256 slots. These backpacks have multiple slots, a standard inventory like a chest, as well as slots to store tools or buckets of liquids within also. Think of it as an adventurer backpack. All you need to do is right click it to place it down, and then it can be used to pick up items which are dropped on the ground around it within its radius. And that concludes this month's picks for the top 10 Bedrock add-ons of March 2022. As usual, all of the mod downloads will be linked down below, and tell me which of these 10 mods was your favourite and why, and drop any of your other favourite Bedrock mods in the comments down below for me to feature next time. Thanks for watching. YouTube says 97% of you are not subscribed, so if you enjoyed the video, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications and slap the like button for more Minecraft mod videos like this one. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.